The United States has said that it has no plans at present to shoot down the remains of a Chinese rocket, which could plunge to Earth sometime this weekend. A section of a Long March 5B rocket like this one, which was used to deliver part of a Chinese space station into orbit last week, is tumbling out of control above the planet. There are fears it could bring with it a shower of scorching metal debris when it falls back to Earth. And this map gives you an idea of where the debris might fall. In theory, everywhere from Newfoundland in Canada to New Zealand could be affected, although the law of averages suggests the debris is most likely to come down somewhere in the sea near the equator. China says the risk of damage is extremely low. Well, CBS correspondent Laura Podesta joins me now from New York. And Laura, how worried should we be that a lump of rocket could fall on our heads in the next 4 days?
You know, I think that there is reason to be concerned, but what we're hearing from experts and from officials here in the U.S. is that it is most likely to fall potentially in water. 70% of the globe's surface is covered by ocean, so the likelihood of it falling on a very densely populated area is small. It's more likely that it would fall into the water. There have been some projections that it will land over northeastern Africa tomorrow, perhaps Sudan. Sudan is 50% desert. It's within the Sahara, and it's sparsely populated. There are about 42 million people who live in Sudan. But again, there are so many factors that go into where this rocket and where the remnants of the rocket could land. Everything from solar flares from the sun, making it so that it would go off kilter and move several miles from where they're projecting it. So, and as you mentioned, it is a large area that is covered where this rocket and the pieces of it could come down, Gita.
And the US government, is it concerned about this? Is the whole space frontier becoming another area of difference between the US and China? And there are rules, are there, about how these things are governed normally in terms of space debris?
Well, as far as governing outer space, there is an agreement. A United Nations Space Liability Convention came up with some rules where if there is a problem or a disaster in space, one country could pay reparations to another. So it's possible that China would have to pay for any damage that could be a result of this rocket and the debris coming down. As far as creating new tensions between the U.S. and China, I think it's more likely that this would create more discussion. When speaking before the press yesterday, the White House press secretary really didn't lay blame to China, so perhaps using vocabulary that wasn't pointed and wasn't dramatic might be they might really be trying to temper this in order to not spark new tension with that country.
And Laura, the rocket could, in theory at least, fall in New York. Are you personally worried?
You know, I'm not worried. Really have faith in the U.S. government that if it were to come close to New York City, the most densely populated city in the United States, that they would have the capability to shoot it down or at least move it off course through some heat-seeking missile or whatever they have in order to bring down something like this. So no, I'm not concerned.
Laura Podesta, thanks very much. I'm watching The West Wing still at the moment. I'm just wondering whether any of those episodes dealt with this particular concern. I'll have to check. Thanks very much indeed. Great to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank you.